Episode 233. We're continuing with the Summoner job quests from level 50 through 60, which released with Heavensward back in the day. Felt like it would be a good enough time to do all of these just while I'm still doing the Heavensward patch quests and all of that. Using the Warring Triad as an excuse to loop it in, I guess. We're not going to go on another whole training arc just so I can defeat the extreme versions of the Warring Triad. I only really did that for the Bahamut raid, since I kind of needed that for the story. Since we don't really need this clear on the extreme version of Sephiroth for Unu High's quests, I'm okay to leave it hanging for probably a while. But I'll probably come back someday, maybe way after Heavensward or something. For now though, we're just gonna do this so I can get it over and done with. One more thing to check off for the Heavensward content that I want to cover for these videos. Assuming Tristan truly was behind the recent violence, whatever could he stand to gain from attacking a simple caravan? Dimitra, Komoy, as we are now cooperating on this investigation, I see no reason not to trust you with some of its duties. Let's split up and find out what these merchants know. Okay. That's a lot of red circles on the minimap. You. A friend of mine survived the assault. Said he even caught a glimpse of the villain's twisted face. I'm certain he would tell you more, had he not left camp the moment his injuries were bound. And just a repeat. Aye, now that you mention it, they did just cart in the body of a merchant. Such things are hardly noteworthy around here, though. As such, I failed to take notes. Yeah, I guess it's pretty normal in Camp Drybone. Right next to the old graveyard. Kind of the only reason Camp Drybone exists, isn't it? As far as I remember. Nothing to say, guy? Not even looking at her. Where's the other one? Dancing Wolf. His model should be around here somewhere, asking some questions, I guess. Maybe inside where we're going right now. Well, he's somewhere. They dug out on the road. I hear the man who did it was swathed in a robe that was black as midnight. One of Ifrit's temperate, I should think. Repeat. Okay. I guess Dancing Wolf is over there. For all we know, he just skipped out on work while we did all the questioning. It would seem a merchant who lived through the attack already set out with his goods again. The traders of Danalan are not if not hardy. So, we have one merchant left alive to tell the tale. According to my inquiries, our intrepid trader will likely be en route to Highbridge. We may yet catch him on the road if we are swift. Away. Well, I guess he's being accosted, as evidenced by this purple ring around him. They should go down, yeah, in an instant. Oh, one more. Because we're level 80, and we're not level synced right now. I heard the Amalja war cries. Are you unhurt, sir? Yes, thank you. Well, aside from the injuries I sustained from a previous incident, I suppose. First the caravan, and now this. Must all be so eager to usher me into his hall? It is concerning the assault on your caravan that we endeavor to seek you out, sir. Is there aught you can tell us of the attacker? Aye, I should be glad to see him brought to justice, though I did not see his face in any great detail. Concealed as it was in the depths of a black cowl, I did glimpse a lock of silvery hair. By his stature I marked him of Huron stock, and by his fiery servant, a hellspawn demon in disguise. A fiery servant. You mean this one? We're a demon spawn too. The Dolph Balls! That's the one. Where do you people find those things? From hell, we're demons. The villain was in command of FFXIV then. And we know the affinity Tristan has for Primal Flame. But his was purple, right? In fact, shouldn't we get a purple one? I guess the developers over at Business Unit 3 or whatever it's called don't want to give us the special NPC skins for our summons, including Alphinode's special Obsidian Carbuncle. Aye, all the evidence points towards our man. Thank you for your cooperation, sir. You have been of great help to our investigation. I would think nothing of it. Consider it poor recompense for my rescue at the hands of this gallant adventurer. I must report these developments to my superiors at the Hall of Flames. Pray join me in Ul'dah. There is more I would discuss with you. And to Ul'dah. There's these three, always sweeping, with their demon spawn, their devils. Captain Wolf seems most troubled. No doubt this case has forced him to relive terrible moments he would sooner let fade. You know of Tristan's older brother, Kaladin? Both were soldiers in service to the Immortal Flames. Both were soldiers under my command. Our unit was one of many deployed in the mission to destroy the Primal Ifrit, an operation that succeeded at a staggering cost. Those who were not incinerated were tempered, with Kaladin suffering the latter fate. As you well know, a Primal's power is fueled by the face of its thralls, and the greatest mercy we can grant such unfortunates is a swift journey to Dahl's hallowed halls. Tristan volunteered to end the cursed existence of his own brother. He returned to Ul'dah with Kaladin's blood on his blade, and I watched, helpless, as the guilt slowly strangled the life in his eyes. No words of comfort would reach him, and when he at last quit the flames, he was a husk of the man he once was. Never did I imagine his grief-maddened mind would drive him to such desperate evil. Tristan was my soldier, and it is my responsibility to stop him. Thanks to your aid, we have mounting proof that he is still out there. When we are ready, we shall make our move. We are content to follow your lead in this, Captain Wolf, and we should certainly be fully prepared. If we are to meet the Dark Summoner in battle, to that end, Komoy, I would teach you one of the incantations I gleaned from the repositories of Algan Wisdom. 'Tis a spell of damaging magic, employed in combat by the summoners of Eld. Let us call upon Captain Wolf again, once you have mastered its use. It would not do to engage Tristan while stumbling over unfamiliar magics. And we get this one, which has been on our hotbar for forever basically, but just never had the chance to use it because we had to unlock it. Basically the AoE version of what we've already been using, goes from Fester to Energy Siphon. Kind of try to set these up symmetrically on the left trigger and the right trigger. Not all single target attacks have a counterpart though, so it's not always easy to do that. But I think this works out. In fact, it works out pretty easily with the limited move pool that summoners have. I barely have any... well, it's just space left over where, as other classes are typically competing for space on the hotbar, but here I just have these empty spaces right here. I guess I have some buttons over here that I could put over there instead, but I guess I like them where they are. Alright, did you find him yet? Auspicious timing, Komoy. There's been news, and none of it good. Our soldiers in central Danalan have reported another attack. I looked over the notes for the initial investigation, and it would seem Tristan, or someone who looks very much like him, has struck again. I'll have one of my men contact Yamitra with the details, but I suggest we head out to the Nanawa mines immediately and question one of the surviving victims. Alright, he left, so this bard can finally begin his performance, I guess. We won't be here to see it, though. We were here once before for, I think, a Hildebrand quest? The old Colosseum questline, I think. Yamitra sent word that she would be along shortly. If only this gentleman was as agreeable. What do you mean, more questions? I've spilled me tale to 3 different soldiers already. My work gets further and further behind every time I gotta stop and talk to you folk. Here's an idea, though. How about just scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? That big lad in the uniform there looks like he could lift some good-sized rocks. And what about you, lass? You some sort of mage? How could you tell? We've had some trouble with the local Spriggan swiping our fire silver, and you trust the woman to get it back. That stuff's as rare as chocobo teeth, you know. Chocobo don't have teeth. That's the joke. It's 'cause they have beaks. Now just a moment, sir. We don't have time for these distractions. Then maybe I don't have the time to talk to you. Not until there's a little give with your take. Beat him up. I guess I would look bad, huh? I fear he means to be stubborn about this, Komoy. Please humor the man, and retrieve his precious ore from the Spriggans. Alright, I guess he's lifting some rocks. Is that him? For coining country. I'm gonna need me fire silver back from them Spriggans. Always lurking nearby they are, sniffing about the coins. You'll find them soon enough. I guess we can see what this new spell looks like, even though it's mainly for AoE. Boom. Huh, surprisingly survived that. We're level 80, which should die in an instant. Well, I guess this is a level 50... no wait, yeah. It's not a level 60 questline, it's level 54, still like way below. Is my gear not... No, it's level 80, I had to do that for the Bahamut thing. Well, whatever. Oh, that's much more. Tired already, huh? This is a picnic compared to my officer training. You find them, Spigot Sass? What about me fire silver? We found it. Also known as ruby silver, this rare grayish red mineral is oft found near veins of regular silver. For every 100 ponzes of silver a miner excavates, however, she will be lucky to find even a pons of fire silver. Sounds like diamonds from Minecraft or something, or whatever is rarer. Oh ho, you got the whole lot back. Much appreciated. My apologies, my studies took rather longer than I... Captain Wolf, is everything alright? Everything's fine. Now let's hear your story, sir. I reckon you learned it? Well, it was in the mine, loading the carts with our haul for the day, when this bloke in robes appears. Doesn't say a word, the bastard just snaps his fingers, and sets his pet demon to lighten me mates on fire. Ifrit Eggy, Komoy, would you be so kind? Look at my demon. Go, my Eggy. Bloody hells. That's the fiend I saw. 'Tis as we feared then, and this robe-clad man. Do you have any idea why he attacked you? Well, lass, there's nothing more than silver to be had from Nanawa. On a good day, we dig up our fair share of crystals as well. That seems to be what he was after. I'm not ashamed to say that I fled for me life once folks started going up in flames. But when I went back to sort out the mess, the cart that... the crystals in it was empty. He took them all. Aye, every single one. And that's all I've got to say about that. Hope you catch the bastard. Away, Eggy. Crystals. There was a crate of crystals on the list of goods stolen from that caravan. He must have taken everything else to conceal his intent. Our quarry grows careless, or simply impatient. It is time I re-examined certain other incidents that we did not think related to this case. Meet me at the Hall of Flames, and we shall discuss the matter further. I can imagine, only one reason why a man such as Tristan would seek to acquire a wealth of crystals. Come, Komoy. Let us not keep Captain Wolf waiting. Sometimes I feel like the text is a bit too small for me to read properly on the first try, but I've never really had a problem with the text being this size on my normal playthroughs on my main character. It's probably just a thing whenever I try to speak out loud that it happens. I guess I could play around with the settings to make it a little bit bigger, but why start now? Whatever evil our callous foe is planning, we cannot allow it to come to fruition. Let us speak with Captain Wolf, and learn what else his investigations have uncovered. I inspected our incident records, paying close attention to cargo manifests that included crystals. We had attributed several recent raids to the Amalja, but the victims were, every one of them, burned to death. Not entirely impossible, considering the lizardmen's affinity for fire, but to find not a single arrow or spear wound. It is highly unlikely. Mayhap I should state aloud what we are all thinking. Judging by the sheer number of crystals involved, we must assume that this villain intends to call forth a primal. After my encounter with Ifrit, I learned just how devastatingly powerful these entities can be, and I believe that summoners, with their ability to harness such power, hold the potential to achieve great things. But if Tristan truly is mad enough to summon a primal, then that unthinkable act, and the bloody deeds he performed in preparation for it, will cause people to question the motives of all who practice the summoner's art. I mean, yeah, it's kind of in the name there already. Summoners bring forth summons, and everyone in Eorzea knows to hate summons. My studies of the tomestones revealed to me a tale of adulation. The summoners of Aleg were revered as heroes for their part in defeating the ancient primals. Okay, I guess they're called primals, not summons. Kind of the same thing. But reverence slowly turned to revulsion as practitioners, intoxicated by their own immense power, began wielding the art of summoning as a means to further their own selfish ambitions. That is not to say, of course, that all summoners chose to become tyrants. Amongst the common people, however, it became a strongly held superstition that those who meddled in the powers of primals ultimately fell into the embrace of evil. This superstition blossomed into outright terror, and that is when the mage hunts began. By the end of the Third Astral Era, the last of the summoners had vanquished from the stage of history. And should we allow Tristan to go through with his plans, then we risk a repeat of that tragedy. I will review the state of patrols on the crystal trade routes. We will catch him. Tomoe, before I joined you at the Nanawa Mines, I was able to recover another incantation that may prove useful in the coming days. Wield its power wisely. And we learned Ruin 3. It's about time, right? Have we just been using like the basic Ruin 1 or 2 this whole time? We already have Ruin 4, which is like its own separate action, tied to Fester or whatever, Aetherflow and all that. But yeah, now we've got Ruin 3, the actual maximum version of Ruin, I think. It is. Maybe now we can defeat Sephiroth, now that our basic spell is upgraded. No, probably not. Greetings, Komoe. I hope you are prepared to take action. Ever since we increased our presence on the trade routes, our Black Road villain has ceased his attacks. Now it is our turn to go on the offensive. The music is a bit... well, it's fine. We'll be gone in a moment. I mean, the music isn't bad, it's just kind of interrupting the music that's already playing in the background. With the blessing of my superiors, I've arranged for a lightly guarded shipment of crystals, with which we will lure Tristan into an ambush. And I want you there when we spring the trap. I've already sent word to Mitra, and she will meet with us in Camp Blue Fog. Let us bring an end to this, Komoe. Mitra. We've been waiting for you, Komoe. Let us put Captain Wolf's plan into action. I teleported straight here. Komoe, you are here. Good. Our crystal couriers have just left camp. The plan is simple. The caravan will head towards the processing plant, but conveniently break an axle before reaching the East Watchtower. We three will take up separate positions nearby and wait for Tristan to take the bait. I've had the driver complaining long and loudly about the lack of a suitable escort for his precious cargo, so we can be reasonably sure that an attack will come. How do you know that he's in the area? I guess he's just kind of around the Thanalan area? I trust you need no further explanations. Head to your assigned position, and do your best to keep out of sight. Hide behind this bush, I guess. We're short enough, it'll work out. Not very well hidden, Yumitra. Alright, Dancing Wolf is at least out of sight. Ah, it burns! It burns! Oh, wow. Was his Eggy purple the last time we fought him? Wasn't it? I think I remember that. Well, it's huge now. The summon first, I guess. Not that it matters, it will go down in an instant. With our new spell, Ruin 3. What do you think of that? I guess he doesn't like it. He's dead. We killed him. Did we actually kill him? He faded away. What is this? Miasma. Already can't do Miasma. Oh wait, is that one of the older spells? I know that Summoner used to be like a damage over time class, wasn't it? Or something like that. Just based on what I heard from like history lessons or something, but... Was that like an old Summoner spell that's no longer available to us, but I guess it's still in the game for enemy summoners? Weird. Talk to me, soldier. I'll live, Captain. He popped right out of thin air. Took me by surprise. The same happened to me. Another man in dark robes stepped through some manner of portal and assailed me with spells. My position also came under attack. An underling. Judging by the ease with which I dispatched him. Oh, okay. So it's not just that we're super strong. They were supposed to be weak. Got it. But I have never before seen such teleportation magics. No, it cannot be. You know this man, Captain Wolf. This is Carden, Tristan's brother. But how? He was tempered. Slain. Yeah, I guess that was the only other answer, right? If it looked like Tristan, and we know that Tristan is dead. The whole explanation that he burned to ashes but he got away somehow while we weren't looking never really made sense. Of course. And now both siblings have disappointed me. I should exercise more care in choosing my pawns. Ascians. An Ascian, that voice. You were the one who taught Tristan the art of summoning. Have you come to inflict yet more misery upon the world? Tristan, yes. That was the other's name. I had hoped to groom him, granted him the knowledge of Alex's mages, that he might unleash his wrath against the primals. Alas, he was all too easily vanquished. No matter, the Bringer of Light has proven a more than adequate replacement for my failed God Slayer. With every primal you kill, the Beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. We need but supply the tribes with crystals, and watch as they summon ever more terrible deities. When the confluence of chaos reaches its peak, the world shall be swallowed in darkness. Our master shall rise again. That's main story stuff. He's gone. Then we should be gone as well. I shall see that my soldier is treated for his wounds, then await you outside the Hall of Flames. Alright, you've done your job. Away with you. This quest title, Mad, Bad, and Ebbenclad. I had fun with that one. Alright. Is this guy gonna continue playing music like this? I don't think I have a thing to turn off his music. We can turn off the world music so it doesn't overlap, but if we get into a cutscene, then we won't have the music in the cutscene, so we'll just have to accept that the music is going to be overlapping. I say that, but it sounds like he just stopped. Never mind. Whatever. Once again, a paragon lurks behind the curtain, pulling the strings. I should have suspected. Should we call in your sister, Ishtola? No. She's already pulling enough triple duty already. In the main story with, like, the Anti-Tower, and with Alexander, and as we just learned with the Warren Triad, she doesn't have to get involved here too. I believe some reassessment is in order. We now know that the black-robed menace we thought to be Tristan was actually his brother, Karadin, a reanimated puppet under the control of an Ascian. Both brothers were present at Ifrit's defeat, so Karadin's aura, too, would have been stained with the Primal's essence, which, if I understand correctly, would explain his ability to command the Yegi. Does Beef Beefington have beef with us or something? Okay. He was just kind of standing there. And now he's dancing. I think he thinks we're looking at the bard, and now he's adding to the performance. Sorry. We're just kinda here for the quest. His dancing is quite good though. I'll have to admit. But for that Ascian to raise the lad's corpse and press him into service as his pet summoner, I shall see the blackguard suffer for his cruel depravity. Aye, the Paragon has many crimes for which he must answer, but we must move with great caution. The power of these immortals is not to be underestimated. I will return to Gridania and redouble my efforts to decipher the remaining tombstones. I always make that mistake. Tombstones, not tombstones. Gotta get it in my head. We cannot face an Ascian unprepared. We're getting a new spell. A couple new spells, I guess. Ah, Komori. If you've come for word on the Ascian, I fear of little progress to report. Really? We gave you 10 seconds and everything. I thought you'd have it by now. We did, however, hold a service for Kaladin. Okay, those 10 seconds were spent on the service. Well spent. I assembled the soldiers from his old unit, and together we conveyed his remains to the priests of Dol. As for Danaland's trade routes, there is still the odd raid by bandits or beastmen, but not that involves men in black robes. I must confess, I am at a loss as to how we might track our foe. Ah, have you spoken with Yamitra? I believe she had new findings to share with you. Yamitra mentioned she wished a word with you. The lass is back in Gridania, last I heard. Alright, sorry if it seems like we're leaving mid-performance. I'm just doing some questline stuff. Right, the usual place, obviously. The name of this quest is named after the ability we get. So they can't go changing the ability you get from this quest, among other reasons. They kinda shift around as the game goes on, the order in which you get abilities, and of course because they add and remove abilities all the time, like retroactively. Things that you get on the hotbar might not reflect what you had back in the day, but they have to keep this so that the quest name can stay the same and the dialogue that we're about to get also stays the same, so that it makes sense that we actually get a quest from whatever they're talking about. Otherwise, she would talk about giving us a new spell and any new player would be confused as to why she's talking about that when you don't get anything. But yeah, just a grandfathered thing, I guess. Komori, there you are. We have much to discuss. I have been engrossed in my studies, you see, seeking every advantage for our inevitable clash with the Ascian. and as I struggled to unravel the ancient knowledge of the tomestones, I unlocked a good many mysteries, including the reason why you were unable to call forth Ramu Egi. Yeah, I kinda forgot about that. When you summon an avatar, you draw upon your body's reservoir of ether to grant life and form to what is known as an arcane entity. That much we already knew. I had, however, overlooked the simple fact that our etheric reserves are finite. Thus the magnitude of the Egi that you are able to summon is limited by the extent of your own life force. Simply put, if the Egi is too powerful, then the summoning fails. But we're built different. Surely we can summon one more Egi. Come on. But do not despair. The summoners of Alag devised a method by which one might circumvent this intrinsic limitation. Rather than attempt to summon a separate physical manifestation of certain Egi, the most accomplished mages discovered that far less ether was required to infuse themselves with the essence of a primal's power. This technique, by which a summoner would achieve this heightened state, was known as a trance. What say you, Komoi? Shall we see if you can master this method? It may even allow you to contend with a paragon, but not if the essence is of an ordinary primal. Nay, we must set our sights on the most potent entity, the most fierce. I speak of the Elder Primal Bahamut. On the day of the calamity, the dragon vanished in an explosion so massive that his ether was carried to the far corners of Eorzea. You, among many others, may have already been touched by his essence. Right, so we fought Bahamut, but you don't need to do that to do this questline. So this is their explanation for how you can bend the typical rules of how a summoner needs to have all of this essence before they get the Egi or whatever power they get, in this case a trance. Of course, I guess we're not going to mention to her that we actually fought Bahamut. We kind of promised Alice we'd keep it a secret, I guess, even though Yamitra can probably be trusted. All that remains is to perform the meditative ritual in a place steeped in Bahamut's energies, and you should be able to enter the trance of the Dreadworm. As for setting foot within the only suitable location, I believe Captain Wolf can assist us. Shall we pay him a visit? If we are to unlock the power of the ancient summoner's strengths, then we shall require Captain Wolf's assistance. Let us make haste for Old Dawn. I forget where Dreadworm Trance is on my hotbar. Actually, I don't think it's a hotbar thing. I guess we're gonna learn. As I anticipated, the good captain here has agreed to help us enter the only suitable ritual location. Yamitra here is certainly not one to do things by half. She petitioned me to help gain entry to the aether-soaked wasteland of the Cartano Flats. Do we get to go there for this quest? It feels like we never get to go there in the main story other than a few points I can remember, and of course the PvP map, which I've never done. The Flats are disputed territory jointly administered by the 3 member nations of the Eorzean Alliance, and attempting to earn full admittance to the area is a bureaucratic nightmare. As matters stand, I was only able to secure permission to visit the Immortal Flames airship landing. If we wish to enter the Flats proper, we will have to do so under the cover of night. Oh, we're going beyond the law, even though you're part of the law? Great. Prepare yourself for a tense journey, then make your way to the landing here in Ul'dah. I have one of our elite flyers standing by. Alright, off we go. Which quest is this anyway? 58. The penultimate quest. I was actually wondering if we might need another episode to wrap up this questline, but it seems like we're doing it all in one episode. And in fact, I might have even been able to fit the entire questline like in just one episode, because I started it at the end of last episode, but well, we'll see. Oh, it's a duty. Never mind. This might actually take longer than I thought, so it's probably good that I spent a little bit of time last episode to start this. Maybe things will work out perfectly with the timing. We'll see. Mastery of this trance will greatly increase your chances of standing against the Paragon. Pray inform the elite flyer that we are ready to depart for Carteneau. I'm glad we finally get to see this place. On camera. If they can catch us creeping into the flat, or if they catch us creeping into the flats, the general will have my head on a platter, but I must have vengeance for my soldiers. I'll fly you to the front door of the flats, but that's as far as you're authorized to go. Stay on the landing or face the consequences. I'm so glad he didn't overhear us saying that we would sneak under the cover of night. We were just talking about that within earshot. Yep, this is the PvP map. How fun. Would this be Komoi's first time at Carteneau? I guess so. Do we not get to see the whole map? That's sad. So, this is what became of the Carteneau Flats. Never before have I sensed such tainted ether. Let us not linger long, Komoi. Turn your mind now to Bahamut's terrible majesty. Allow his power to seep into your very being. Nope, no Bahamut. Nothing. Remaining to deepen your meditations. Do you truly attempt to harness the might of Bahamut? The essence of the Elder Primal shall tear your mortal frame asunder. Oh, it was the Ascian. I forgot what voice he had, even though it was just like 15 minutes ago. Chaos rises in the presence of power, but you, bringer of light, can be allowed to shine no brighter. Come, then be doused in the endless waters of the 12th chalice. What even is the 12th chalice? Do we ever learn this lore? I'm sure it's in like some kind of lore book somewhere. Probably doesn't happen in-game though. Okay, we're fighting an Ascian. Oh, he'd started without us. Can we unlock the Dreadborn Trance? Because we get it after this quest. Oh, there it is. It sounds like we're going to unlock it mid-quest, but that's not how the game works. We have to complete the quest to unlock the ability, but, well, maybe something is going to happen mid-battle. Oh, that. We got one. Since when were these upgraded? Topaz Ruin 3? Did we get that with Ruin 3? I didn't realize. Huh. Oh, I can't target this one. Over here. Oh, there's Titan. Didn't notice. I'm sorry, Dancing Wolf. No, because you complained. We'll give you a little bit of healing. I guess that's your Mitras job, though. Okay. Are we ready? Can we summon Bahamut? Or at least the trance? Oh, he's bringing out all three. Okay. My Garuda Eggy is stronger. Go, my Garuda. Oh, one more. Even more. My Ifrit is stronger. Go. Another one. Where though? It's gonna be all over the place, I guess. Is it gonna be like all 6? Oh right, because there are 6 elements, I guess. Last one? Oh, it's alive. Clearly. Well, I guess 6 elements plus light and dark, although I guess those aren't exactly... Oh, so we do actually have the Dread Room trance. No, wait, that's not the actual one. Okay, so it's just like a quest-specific one. So yeah, we don't unlock the ability in the middle of combat. That's not how this game works, obviously. And that's the duty. We don't actually kill the Ascian. I did not anticipate this. You should not have been able to complete the meditations under such duress. But I shall not underestimate you again. Our next meeting shall be our last, bringer of light. We did it. We faced a paragon and lived. Yeah, I guess that is kind of a huge accomplishment. But some of them are more important than others, right? More powerful than others. And it's all thanks to you, Komoy. You, and the towering might of Bahamut that you now command. That is the best one, isn't it, Bahamut? Great. Despite the Ascian's interference, we achieved what we came here for. But I'm afraid this is not the place to celebrate. Let us return to the landing before the dawn's light finds us in forbidden territory. I guess that's the only part of the map we get to see, the central bit. It was a daring journey, but I believe the rewards merited the risk. We should return now to the Hall of Flames, and see that Captain Wolf has not been stripped of his station. He should probably report that though, right? That an Ascian showed up? That's kind of important. I'm sure they'll forgive him if he, reports that very critical fact. Oh. Is that bard still playing even in the rain? I imagine. Nope, he's gone. I'm kind of disappointed, actually. The Paragon did not come across us by chance. We are being watched. We have reason to rejoice, my friends, and it would seem our clandestine adventure went unnoticed by my superiors. Should you be saying that like standing in front of where everyone's gathered? I guess it's fine. And more importantly, we seized the upper hand in a battle against an Ascian. The trance did appear most effective against our immortal foe. For such a hurried night's work, we managed to reap quite a harvest indeed. Aye, but it is a pity the bastard fled when he did. I would have liked to have settled the score then and there. As for the best, Captain Wolf, if we would truly defeat the Ascian, then we must be prepared to destroy him utterly, body and soul. Right, don't we need to do that whole thing with the white orosite and whatever else? The big flux of ether? Last time we did it with the eye, and the time before that we did it with the thing Moonbrita invented. We just need a lot of ether. And some place to trap the Ascian in. So yeah, this changes Aether Charge to Dreadworm Trance. Okay. And how does this work? Well, it's just the Aether Charge, of course, but it changes Ruin 3, our main attack skill. It changes Outburst to Astral Flare, which is our main AoE attack skill. Cool. So there's no real change to gameplay, I guess. Oh, and look at this. Our stupid carbuncle UI is now a cool Bahamut UI. I'm going to miss the stupid carbuncle face, though. And Astral Flow. That's on my hotbar, right? Yeah, this one. Been sitting there, waiting to be used. Komoy, I was about to send for you. Yumitra should be here any moment. Ah, wonderful. We're all here. I've been pondering some metaphysical series, and would discuss my conclusions with the both of you. Ever since our battle on the flats, the memory of our adversary fleeing the field has been preying upon my mind. According to the Scions and their research, we're one of those. The Paragons are effectively immortal. They are said to be ethereal entities with no physical form of their own, instead possessing mortal host after mortal host, in an endless procession down the ages. Did we know that already? I mean, we know that they possess Sacred, so I guess the other ones do that too. The old Ascian trick. Their old reliable card or whatever. What's the term? Whatever. But once Komoy has acquired the Dreadworm Trance, the haste with which the Ascian withdrew did not seem to me the action of a being who harbors no fear of death. Thus do I pose the question. Could it be that the 12th Chalice, and his black masked brethren are not as practiced, in the art of possession as their red-veiled masters? Okay, I guess we're learning this here and now. It's funny that this happens, well, in a quest that not all players do, but yeah. The black masks and the red masks are different, and then there's like the white-robed one, but that's a whole other thing. There are different tiers to Ascians, and I guess you learn that in the main story at a different point in time, but I think this is probably the first point, like in the story chronologically, with the release schedule of the game, that they touched upon this subject. It must be. At the time of the battle, our bodies were the only available hosts nearby. Assuming that he also lacks his superior's facility to flee to the space betwixt worlds, I suspect that our foe's sudden cowardice stemmed from an inability to force his soul into our living vessels. Was that a bit over your head? No, he understands. That would explain much, including the reason why he chose the deceased Kaiden to serve as his puppet. I believe the theory is sound. Shall we put it to the test? If we are able to lure the 12th chalice to a location devoid of potential hosts, then we might succeed in destroying him for good. Great. So we don't need all of those complicated steps that we had with Moonbrita and over at the end of the Heavensward main story when we killed La Brea's partner, whose name I forget. No need for white auracite or a big amount of ether. Just kill the guy. With no place to, possess nearby. Then what are we waiting for? We must begin devising a plan to draw the villain from hiding. Not so fast, Captain Wolf. We must first obtain the means by which we can ensure the Ascian's demise. A mighty coup de grace, delivered before he has the chance to retreat. Komoy, there is a passage within the last tombstone that describes how the power of a trance can be unleashed in a single, devastating blast. The technique itself, however, was not explained. According to my research, it can only be learned from a forbidden book, on the shelves of the Great Goopal Library. It's a good thing we've been there. To reach the library will require a long and perilous journey over Abalathia's spine and into the wilds of the Dravania hinterlands. But I believe we three are up to the task. Shall we be on our way then? The key to defeating the 12th chalice will soon be within our grasp. I think you two are up to the task on your own, because we are just going to teleport there. See you there. We kinda already did this journey, back and forth several times. We don't have to do it again. Yeah, it turns out these last two quests are taking much longer than the earlier quests, so even though I thought I was going to finish perfectly on time, turns out I'm gonna have to go a little bit over time to wrap up this final level 60 quest, I guess. It's probably gonna take 10 more minutes beyond this. Oh well. Soon, Alexander. In fact, probably next episode, we can rejoin the efforts to storm the castle, I guess. The giant moving castle that is Alexander. So what does this look like now that we can do the Dreadworm Trance, the animation? And I guess the changed ruin, it gets upgraded? I guess we'll see it during the solo duty, right? Because there is going to be one. Obviously. Glad I am to come to the end of that road, but it will be well worth the trip once we've secured your summoner's tome. Tristan and Carden will be avenged. Oh, we're just in it. Just like that. No prelude. Oh, never mind. I guess we are. Now that we have all arrived, we can enter the library and begin our search for this forbidden tome. Have you strayed far from the safety of your cities, foolish mortals? No, wait, that wasn't a question. Let's try that again. You have strayed far from the safety of your cities, foolish mortals. Whatever could you be planning? Of course he was watching us, so he knows our plan. Again, always he arrives at the worst possible moment. 'Tis no coincidence, I fear, and this time he leaves naught to chance. He brought his friends. More rank-and-file Asians, if you can call them that. 'Twas amusing at first to watch you stumble like clumsy children. But too insistent is your dabbling. Those who will not dance upon our palms shall be crushed within our fist. No more shall we endure your blinding effulgence. There can be no rival to the encroaching darkness. Did your superior approve of this plan? Probably not. You have earned the ire of La Habrea's most loyal servants. Oh, never mind. I guess they're getting revenge for La Habrea. Did you imagine the battle ended with our master's defeat? Stand now, bringer of light, and suffer the pain of our retribution. Would it not be wiser to retreat and seek the tome another day? They mean to afford us no such opportunity, my dear captain. Either we stand and fight, or we die. Plus they can teleport, so retreating would be hard. Come, my carbuncle. Pee-pee. And Dreadworm Trance. That's the animation, Big Dragon Head. And this is our cast now. It's instant. I like it. For about 15 seconds. They kind of folded like paper, the other guys. I guess this guy's the main boss. Meteor? On me? Owie. Oh, I guess we should be careful of it. Yep, we gotta make sure it doesn't explode, or we're not in range of it. Let's just keep moving. The same plan that we had with Nail Deus Dam Darnus. So his attack doesn't overlap with the boulder. And now he's casting double. Double Dark Fire. 3. Another meteor. We're kind of at max casting distance now. But he's about to die. There he goes. We didn't need the spell after all. We just needed to kill him. How? We were raised unto greatness by La Habrea himself. You defeated my master's bringer of light. Mayhap it is meet that your strength was beyond us. But the day will come. You'll not escape us this time, Asian. Now, Komoi, unleash your power. How fun. That's one of Bahamut's spells, I think. We can just do that. Kinda scary, Komori. It is done. The Paragon is no more. Aren't you the slightest bit afraid of Komori, the way she looked just now? I know I am. A most impressive spell, Komori. But when did you learn how to cast it? Did we not first require the library's tome? Oh, of course. She knew. She's smarter than that. Yes. My apologies, Captain. But in order to deceive one's enemies, 'tis best to begin with one's friends. There was never such any book. All that Komori truly required was the catalyst of battle, to focus her energies. I knew that once the Ascian observed us traveling towards this library, he would assume that we sought some long-buried wisdom. He could not risk leaving Komori free to gain even greater power. And so this entire journey was a feint, a trap to lure him into the wilds. Well, you certainly had me fooled. Remind me to never cross wits with you, Umitra. Did you really have to pick, like, the furthest possible place for traveling on foot? It's like, from the southern edge of Danalan to the northern edge of the Dravanian hinterlands. That's literally the longest trek you could possibly have. At least if you're staying within Eorzea, I guess. I guess over towards, what is it? What's that place called? Alamigo would also be pretty far. No, it seems like it's further to go to Dravania, so yeah. She just kind of tortured herself for the sake of her plan. Well, it worked. We're still getting a new spell, though. My plan had you been unable to cast the Death Flare? My dear Komori, I never entertained a single doubt. The Death Flare, that's what we're learning. What we just learned, I guess. How fun. Very fearsome sounding attack. Together we have achieved something of which few people can boast. The defeat of an Ascian. I mean, we've done that ourselves, like the higher tier Ascians, a few times before, but yeah, for you, it's a big accomplishment. Never could I have accomplished this deed alone. Thanks to your actions, Tristan's case can also be put to rest. Long have I been haunted by the horrors of that Ifrit mission. But at last, I feel a measure of peace. I will return to Ul'dah, and have a gravestone for Tristan laid beside his brothers. We may not have his bones, but it will be a place where the survivors from his unit can pay respects to the man he once was. I bid you farewell, my friends. May we meet again under happier circumstances. I, too, would extend to you my gratitude, Komori. In addition to untold slaughter, you've prevented summoning's tragic history from repeating itself in a new age. We must take greater precautions against this ancient art falling into the wrong hands. I will work alongside my colleagues in the Suns, and be sure that the spread of summoning is closely monitored. If only we could uncover a lasting solution to the primal predicament. If only. Probably no chance, right? There must be a way to break this self-perpetuating cycle of meeting force with force. As for myself, I shall continue my research into primals and summoning, and offer the Scions whatever support I am able. I am certain our paths shall cross again, Komori. At least one more time, right? Before they stop doing like role quests or job quests and replace them with role quests. And there we go. We got the spell, and we can take on the next quest after all the Heavensward stuff for later. More importantly, we finished the episode within the vicinity of where I want to be. With all of that done, I think Komori has finally gotten over failing against Sephiroth Extreme. She doesn't need to prove herself, she can summon Bahamut within herself. That's better than pride. Let's take shelter from the rain over here, I guess. Can't end the episode out in the rain, it just feels wrong. Is there like a table we can set out or something? Yeah. Well, now that Komori is an even more accomplished summoner than ever before, I think she feels ready and renewed to take on the primal threat once again. Starting with Alexander next episode. Even though we won't be doing that as a summoner. Whatever. Even if she's a machinist, she's still got that dragon inside her. Now would be a good time to take a break.